It's well known by the FIFA career mode community of players that there are a lot of issues with the mode that tend to go unfixed for a long period of time. It gets to the point where players become very frustrated by the experiences they have because of the way in which certain bugs and glitches with career mode are left to manifest themselves. Whether it's simply a comedy of errors by EA Sports or the game developers simply refusing to address and eradicate these problems, they always seem to come back around with every new instalment of the FIFA franchise. With that in mind, here are 5 annoying bugs in career mode that I feel like need to be removed from the game mode when FIFA 19 rolls around. Remember to give your feedback in the comment section about bugs that you find frustrating when playing career mode. So, number 1 is the stadium issue. This is a problem which prevents you from changing the stadium of your chosen club unless you switch the squads to current customise. This means that you're unable to use the latest updated squads if you want to have a different stadium. Perhaps the worst thing about this issue, however, is that the problem has been there for years now. It stretches right the way back to the likes of FIFA 15. I've seen career mode players complaining about this issue, but yet seen nothing done to address and fix it. As a result, it means that your road to glory save is limited because despite the fact that you are now Champions League winners, you're still playing in the 10,000 capacity stadium of Crown Lane. The second bug that needs to be removed is the loan offers glitch. Here is an example on screen. In this situation, I was manager of Serie A side Sassuolo and I needed a striker. I approached Fiorentina to bring striker Kuma Babacar to the club in a loan deal. It stated that they weren't interested in loaning the player out. Bear in mind that in real life, Sassuolo did actually bring Babacar in on loan from Fiorentina just after this happened for me in this save. Shortly after, I get a notification saying that Hellas Verona had approached Fiorentina to loan Kuma Babacar. When I return to my shortlist to make another loan offer, I get the same message. Shortly after, he confirms his move to Verona on loan for the season. But you just told me that the club wasn't interested in loaning him out. Sigh. Looking through social media on this issue, it turns out that a lot of people have suffered from the same problem. This needs to be swiftly removed. Sticking with the issues of loans, the third bug comes from loaning players out. Well, the inability to loan them out. When you have either just signed a player on or promoted one from the youth academy, you're unable to offer them out on loan. You can only block transfer offers, despite the fact that you're unable to get transfer offers for them because you can neither loan them out or put them on the transfer list. Once again, this feels more like an error on EA's part rather than something they have intentionally put in. A recent example that springs to mind in a real life situation such as this would be that of striker Benik Afobe. He signs for Wolves on a permanent deal in June. A week later, he joins Stoke City on loan with an obligation for Stoke to buy him permanently in January. Therefore, this needs to be addressed. Number 4 on the list is contract negotiations. Have any of you ever noticed that during the interactive negotiations, when a player requests a certain amount of years, they won't accept anything more other than 1 year. But when you offer that 1 extra year, they will always accept it. Let me break it down. For example, if a player asks for a 2-year deal, you can offer him 4 years or even 5 years and he will flat out reject both offers. However, if you offer him a 3-year deal, 1 year more than the original 2 years that he requested, he will automatically accept it. It's frustrating because it leads to negotiations being extremely predictable and therefore quite boring and repetitive in my opinion. I hope that this is simply a drawback of it being the first year that EA Sports have implemented the interactive negotiations features and will therefore eradicate these bugs next year as they work with these features and this technology more and more. Fifth and finally on the list is players with 6 months or less to go on their contract. The problem here is that any player aged 23 or over will be eligible to approach on a pre-contract deal. Why is this a problem, you ask? Well, it's because that's all you can do. You can't approach the club that owns the player to buy him immediately or loan him in until his contract expires. Once again, I can resort back to a real example in Alexis Sanchez and his move to Manchester United. His contract was due to expire at the end of the season, but they approached Arsenal to buy him immediately, even offering a player going the other direction in Henrik Mkhitaryan. Again, this doesn't seem to be on purpose from the career mode developers, but more of a lack of depth testing and acting on the issues that are raised by the FIFA community. Here's hoping that all of these issues will be removed by the time FIFA 19 rolls out in late September. That rounds off this list for today, guys. Remember to put any bugs that you encounter in the comment section down below, and I will get back to you. If you haven't already, then please do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already for more regular gaming content. I'm Brom18, and I will see you next time.